If you think your website's a bit rubbish or a bit broken, you may want to have another look. Most websites are just flushing money down the loo. Ooh, that's better. I work with loads of clients who all have the same problem with their websites. It just isn't working for their business. They report no traffic, few leads and little or no sales. But have they created a completely shit website that deserves the toilet treatment? Or is there gold in their website that they didn't even realise was there? So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can find those existing gold nuggets in your website and take advantage of them, so you're not just wasting money, but earning it. And the first thing I do when I start working with a new client is to take a look at their existing website to see what we're working with. And this has often brought up some huge mistakes that need fixing, but also some hidden wins that the client had no idea about and so can't take advantage of them. All parts of a website should be working together as a whole. So it's no good getting loads of traffic to your website if they're the wrong people, or getting the right visitors to your website but they're not doing anything with them once they get there. It's like inviting a load of kids to a birthday party and then only serving them cucumber sticks. They aren't going to want to come back or to be your friend. So much wasted effort. So instead of throwing your website out of the window and declaring it a waste of time, here is exactly how you can find the hidden gold in your website. Story time! I'm rebuilding a website for the lovely Sarah Fisher from Connective Family. She's changing up her brand name as her business has grown so much. She's got many more staff and she can't be Sarah Fisher Coaching anymore. It's not just her, but her website hasn't been bringing in the new leads and the conversions are really low. Her business is growing, but the website is not pulling its weight. So as usual, I jump onto her site and I have a look at what's going on. And I found something Sarah had no idea about. Her website is actually working. Her wonderful blog writing efforts have produced some really wonderful opportunities, but she wasn't taking advantage of them. So what you don't know, you don't know. So let's jump on and I'm going to show you exactly what I found and how we can improve conversions and really take advantage of that opportunity that she's already created. Let's go in. So this is Sarah Fisher's website and it's a lovely looking website and she's got some really strong branding on here and she is speaking to her ideal customer. But as she said to me, she doesn't get much traffic from Google, she said, haven't really been working on the SEO, don't get many leads from the actual website, it's more by referral and social media at the moment. So one of the first things I always do is I link it up, if it's not already, to Google Search Console, which is the more interesting of the Google tools, and click through to there. And I linked this all up to have a look at exactly what was going on behind the scenes, because her view of her website was that it wasn't getting her any traffic from Google. So I come down to this little performance tab here just to see what's going on. I like to have everything ticked. And come down to the queries, and this is what people are actually typing into Google to find your website. So as you can see, Google is picking up quite a lot, and her clicks for connective parenting, because that's the framework she works with parents, is actually one of the top queries. And if we look over here, you can see that the position, which is her position on the Google search page, is 3.7. So we're talking right at the top here. And this is what really interested me here, because connective parenting is the framework that she's put together that really helps parents cope with challenging behaviours with their children, which is fantastic, but it's her term. So you'd expect her to be ranking quite highly for that. But this one here, Coke bottle effect. Now, what is that, you may ask? Because that is second on the list here. Its position is 1.4. So this is top of Google search results. So why does she think she's not getting any traffic? Because here we've got impressions, which is how much it's shown to people, as 294, a click-through rate of 15%, and clicks of 44. Now, this is a website. She thought she was getting nothing out of Google. But as we can see, just from a little quick search in Search Console, there is something strange going on. And her website is actually working in one of the ways. So I didn't want to break that way, obviously. So I did a little bit more research about how we can keep this good work she's already done working for her website. So Google Search Console is an absolute must for your website. So make sure you link that up so you can lift the hood and see exactly what people are finding you for on Google. Okay, so that was the first thing we did. So then I did a little bit of research into why Coke bottle effect was such a successful term for her website. So what exactly is the Coke bottle effect, and why was this doing so well on Google? So I'm just going to go over to Google here and let's type in, what is the Coke bottle effect? And here we go. This is the exact answer for exactly why she's getting so many clicks from these keywords. She has been chosen as a featured snippet by Google because her blog was so helpful and it answered the question so succinctly and so well that Google has chosen her to be top of its search results. And that has got her lots of traffic. So imagine you just typed Coke bottle effect into Google. It's likely your child's been fine at school all day and they come home and they absolutely explode everywhere. As a parent of an autistic daughter, I can understand that completely. So you arrive on the page and you want to find out what the Coke bottle effect is and whether it's something you are experiencing and how to cope better with those messy explosions. It's a great article. Google knows it's a great article, but as a mum with an exploding child on my hands, I've just learnt some information. So now what? So now I'm going to click through to the article and hopefully I'm going to get an answer to what I can do about this Coke bottle effect. So let's click through and this will go through to the actual blog post. And we also have a podcast, probably also why Google has chosen it as a featured snippet, because it has lots of different sorts of ways of answering the same question, and Google likes lots of mixed media answers. So we've got the Coke bottle effect. We have a bit of information on what it is. This it's highlighted in purple here is exactly what Google has picked up on for the featured snippet. And we've got some ideas and we've got some help with strategies, but not a lot on here. And then we've got a call to action, but it's just to sign up to a newsletter. So I've come onto here and I'm not particularly blown away by what sorts of information is on here to actually help me with my exploding child. So when I was thinking about, yes, her website's working, she is getting traffic, she's getting traffic to this wonderful blog that she's written that is actually really helpful. But there's a number of different things we can do to really help this blog work for the business. Because as a parent, I can go on there, I can see what the Coke bottle effect is, I can get some ideas of how to improve this for my family life, and some help with strategies, which takes me off to other links. But I can't really get some ideas that I can implement right away, and I don't know the next step that I should take. I have to really read into a lot of the text to find out exactly what I can do. And then I've got a call to action that's really just to sign up for a newsletter, and I'm not going to want to give my information away just for a newsletter. So we have to make this website gold really work for the business. We have to start thinking about how we can convert some of this wonderful, spot on, exactly what she is looking for traffic, and convert them to join her groups, to sign up for more information, to take that first step into learning how connective parenting can really help with meltdowns and the Coke bottle effect. So we are looking at strategies to make this actually work better for her website. So I'm building a new website out because it's got new branding. And we're really thinking about how we can maximise those conversions using some of the wonderful work she has already got there, because it wasn't a website that should be just thrown in the bin. Oh no, this was a successful website. It just needed the bits to work together. And this is how you can really up the game of your website and make sure that it starts to work for your business. So this article here is website gold. So now we are going to mine it, and I'm going to tell you 5 ways that I'm going to optimize this particular article and her particular blog to make sure that it really does get conversions and start to really work for her business. So here are the 5 ways that I'm going to really make a difference to this blog and how it converts people into leads and into sales. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out the article so it's much easier to scan. We don't read anything, we scan through, so we might read the titles, we might have a look at the pictures, and then we'll press the big button at the bottom. So let's make this work for this tired parent who's fed up with exploding children. So if we have a look here, we've got quite a small title actually. So maybe we would make this the what is the Coke bottle effect, or how to deal with the Coke bottle effect. We're still using the same key terms, but actually it's much more of a helpful, we're going to answer your question sort of title. I like the Coke bottles, that's nice and fun. And also it doesn't have pictures of very soppy children and parents together. If you're really struggling with something, then that was really putting it in your face. So we don't want that. So I really love that. But then we go into a very, very small type of font. And there was a discussion last week in my Facebook group about the Coke bottle effect. Many of the group have experienced, they talk about ways to reduce it. I like having the podcast, but we really need to answer the question straight away, and it really needs to be a lot better to read. So I would definitely increase the font sizes, maybe have some spacing and some more colour in there, because this is all very black and white and very hard to read because there's not an awful lot of spacing between the words. And then we come down to the ideas. So I would probably have ideas for coping with the Coke bottle effect in here, and again to use the keyword. But then we would make a lot more of these incredibly helpful tips. So the second thing I would do is I would be using more pictures and imagery or icons to separate out these different ways that we can really really help the situation, so that a parent can just scan through and see and really get an idea of how it can work for them. There's some absolute gold here. So give your child a drink in a sports bottle. The suction action also aids regulation. Who knew? But we could have a nice picture of a sports bottle there. With a child, so that we're really getting the information across. And Google loves pictures as well as people who are reading a blog, and it just breaks it all up and makes it a lot easier to read. We've also got a sensory box on here. Build sensory breaks into your day. Maybe have a box of sensory toys, maybe have a picture of the box of sensory toys so we can really see exactly what we're looking at. So that's the second thing I would definitely do. Another thing I would put at the bottom, and I put at the bottom of all of the blogs that I design, is I would have a you would also like. So at the bottom of this, say you've read all about the Coke bottle effect and you've gone through and you've got some great ideas, you could maybe go through to another blog that might be about sensory regulation, or that would be about developments, or anything else that would really fit into this category of subject, to keep them on your website, to keep them reading and learning with you and building that know, like and trust that's really going to get you them to turn into leads and sales, and really help them out as well. So I would definitely put that underneath the main blog. I would also boost that help section. Right, so the fifth thing that I would change is this help section. So this help with strategies section. It's a very, very short section for something that is super, super important for the blog, in that it really moves people towards where they should be going. So she's suggesting that it goes through to a group for the Facebook group, and also it just shovels them off to the parents and carers section of the website without really showing you exactly how things are going to help. So there are a couple of things that I would do here. So I would go through the text, and where we've got things like the sensory toy box, maybe it goes through to a particular blog about sensory toys so that we can read more on that. I would also make sure that we've got lots of links all the way through the blog that link to other information on the website, so that I can really get more of a picture of how she is going to help me. And Google knows that this is exactly what I help with, so it will pick up on all of these links, and it loves links throughout a website. I would also have some more next step items in here. So after speaking with Sarah, I learnt that she really wants people to come and join her hub, the parenting hub online, that really gives people that support and really makes it easy for people to get help straight away. And it also includes a lot of her courses and information on how to make connective parenting work for your family. So I think that would probably be where I would point people to go to next, so they can get more support, and give a little bit of information direct on the page here of how they can join the hub and how it's relevant to making some of these strategies work. The other thing I would do is I would put what sort of sign up they should have on here. So maybe point them to that product, which is the membership product, or maybe point them to an extra bit of information, a downloadable that actually gives you maybe a list of these strategies, these ideas that she's given us here, but it's a downloadable sheet that they can get and they can refer to offline. Something that they've read the article, they've got the ideas, they might go for some of the strategies and work with Sarah, but maybe they're not quite ready for that. Maybe they are just going to become a lead, and they're going to actually interact, give her their email address, so that she can then continue to work with them, and then hopefully get them to take one of her courses or join the hub. So I would make this a lot less general and a lot more focused. Okay, so the fifth thing that I would do is I would then monitor it, because as we found out, she had no idea of the success of this particular blog. So she wasn't able to tweak it to make sure that people were going from this blog to where she wanted them to go. So she's opened the door to all of these guests, and then she's given them those cucumber sticks. What we need to do is we need to give them the carrots or a big box of chocolates and say, this is what you need. So I would monitor it. I, of course, use Google Analytics for that. But if you don't want to go into all those gubbins online, which a lot of people, they get on there and they go, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm looking at. You could get a plugin that works with your website. So you're only looking at exactly what you need to look at. So you're looking at how many people are landing on this page, how they're getting there, and then where they're moving off to. and also how many conversions you're getting on that particular page. So I would continue to monitor it, and that's what makes the really big difference into knowing exactly how well your website is doing. This is exactly what I teach in my free digital roadmap sessions, where I'll show you the exact steps to move your business through the next level, through your website, and make sure that you don't try and throw it all out of the window and take advantage of some of the gold you've already got on there. Click the link below to book a call.